With 3 goal contributions in his last 5 matches, I think it's fair to say that Ruben Amorim has got Lisandro Martinez back to his very best. And it's all because of this key tactical role. Of course, the tactical role that we are going to be talking about in today's video. Before we get into that, if you guys could quickly subscribe to the channel, that would be amazing. So please do that. And then we'll get into the video. So as we saw in the intro there, in the average positions, one of the big things that Ruben Amorim is doing is allowing Lisandro Martinez to play as the most advanced of the 3 centre-backs. We know that we're using a 3 centre-back system. Lisandro Martinez quite often is playing a little bit higher than the other 2, both in possession and out of possession, and this has huge benefits. Starting off with the out of possession. We know that Manchester United in the current structure tend to only use 2 central midfielders, often Kobbie Mainoo and Ugarte, sometimes it'll be Bruno Fernandes as well, but we often only play with 2 players in this position. Now we know that most opposition teams are going to come up against us with at least 3 central midfielders, which means we are potentially outnumbered. However, what Ruben Amorim has been doing in recent weeks is allowing Lisandro Martinez to connect just a little bit higher to join the midfield in defensive moments. Now, this does involve the wing-backs actually often holding a slightly deeper position, but for example, someone like Kobbie Mainoo, rather than being 2v1'd in these positions all the time, is occasionally getting help from Lisandro Martinez, who is given the license to step into these positions. Now, this isn't something that we see literally all the time, but it is something that is starting to come into the Manchester United game. It is something that Martinez is looking to do, and I would say he is improving there. He looked really strong in this area when he first joined the club, but he's had a couple of seasons where he's not been so good since the injury. At the moment, I would say he looks like he's warming up a little bit. His timing of movement looks a little bit better, and he's got that aggression and that feistiness back into his game, and it's improving him from a defensive point of view. It's also actually, though, making him a really useful attacking weapon in the final third of the pitch, because what United are doing is looking to move the ball forward, often out wide, for example, with someone like Diogo Dalot on the left. And when we lose the ball here, there is the potential for the opposition to counterattack and to hurt us. But what Lisandro Martinez is doing at the moment, with his aggressive nature, his front foot defending, is he is stopping the opposition from transitioning. And of course it is Ruben Amorim that is allowing him to do this, and it's seeing Manchester United win the ball back in high positions to, first of all, stop the opposition transitioning, but also actually creating a Manchester United threat because we're winning the ball back nice and high up the pitch. And this is something that we've seen quite a lot recently, particularly in the match against Fulham. We can see here Fulham trying to play their way out from the back with the ball down the line, and Lisandro Martinez is on them. He's being feisty, he's being aggressive, he's tracking players deep into these positions. And you can see that for Manchester United, it allows us to get several players around the ball. Now, I still think we need to be a lot better here. Cohesively as a team, we need to improve in our counter press. But Lisandro Martinez is doing a good job at the moment of disrupting attacks before they ever really get started. Sometimes he has to foul a player to do it, which isn't ideal, but at least he is still stopping the opposition. The better scenarios, though, are actually when he doesn't foul them, because it means United win the ball. Now, the guy is, of course, behind me as he clears it, and again, Lisandro Martinez is on the front foot. He reads the play, he steps in, he intercepts the ball, but then also has the confidence on the ball. We know he's a good ball player. He's confident enough moving forward with the ball in this position before then releasing, and actually on this occasion he gets fouled. But again, you can see the benefit of this. Again, Fulham try and clear the ball out, but Lisandro Martinez is there straight away, stepping in, being aggressive ahead of the Fulham player. And what this does is it allows Manchester United to sustain attacks, and actually in moments like this, get shots off, which sometimes need the help of a deflection, but they get us goals. Lisandro Martinez is becoming an attacking threat because of his front foot defending. But this isn't just something that we saw in the Fulham game. This goes back a few weeks to the Liverpool game as well. Again, a very similar situation. Lisandro Martinez reads the play, steps in front of the Liverpool player, and just keeps going. Eventually releases the ball. Bruno Fernandes does some work on the ball, and eventually it goes back through to Lisandro Martinez in this position to score. Now, of course, when we're judging centre-backs, we're not actually really looking for goal output. But if this is something that you can throw into your game, 3 or 4, maybe 5 or 6 goals a season from pressing high and winning the ball back, then that's actually potentially a really valuable tool. Now, importantly, Lisandro Martinez is also helping us out quite a lot when we're actually on the ball. You see, we know that under Ruben Amorim, we are quite a slow team in possession. We like to be quite methodical with our approach. We take our time progressing the ball through the thirds. What this does mean, though, is that the opposition have more time to react. They have more time to get themselves into a compact defensive shape, which can be incredibly difficult to play through. But we know that Lisandro Martinez, realistically, is one of the best ball-playing defenders in the world. For me, I still think he is the very best on the ball. His passing and his ability to turn, for me, is second to none. I think he's absolutely phenomenal in this area. And he has been a really useful progressive option for Manchester United. As always, manipulating the opposition, little touches to move the opposition players. incisive passes through the lines, but also in the past 2 months, long passes over the top as well. Now this in the past was probably the one part of his game I was a little bit critical of on the ball, was that he didn't play over the top regularly enough. In recent weeks he has been. We have seen a certain movement pattern which I want to cover again another day in more detail, because I'm just waiting for us to score from it, because there's a certain pattern we do a lot which involves one of our inside forwards moving inside the pitch, dragging someone with them, opening up a channel of space for the striker. And Lisandro Martinez at the moment is the perfect player to try and exploit that space. You can see it in a moment like this. He's given the license on the ball to, once again, be the most advanced centre-back, carrying the ball forward. And then he's got that passing range. He always does. He always has, and he probably always will. That passing range is quality. Plonking the ball over the top for someone like Højlund to run onto. Again, this is something that we should try and do more, because it suits Højlund to get himself into the channels. Again, in this moment here, against Liverpool a few weeks ago, Lisandro Martinez with the pass over the top, and Højlund the one running in behind. This pass is ridiculous. It's an unbelievably good pass. I genuinely don't believe many centre-backs can do this in world football, particularly on their left foot. So whilst Lisandro Martinez, of course, has a lot of flaws, which I'll come back to shortly, this is really, really valuable. It's something that you cannot find in many other centre-backs, and we have to give a lot of credit to Ruben Amorim, because he has given Lisandro Martinez the licence to do this on a game-to-game basis. We've seen it against Manchester City with the late pass, we've seen it against Liverpool, against Fulham, against Rangers he was doing it, against Southampton the other week he was doing it. Lisandro Martinez is without doubt a massive threat for Manchester United on the ball. What he's done in recent weeks though is actually take it one step further, and we've spoken about it in our last 2 match breakdowns, and he's actually joining the attack in the final third. We've already spoken about him pressing high to try and win the ball back, but even in sustained controlled possession, he is becoming an attacking force, because when Manchester United move the ball out wide, for example again to Dalot on the left hand side, we know that the opposition are going to try and be aggressive, get defenders over to the ball side, to try and crowd us out and make life difficult. The problem for the opposition is when we add the extra player in. See, for example, in a moment like this, they might be man-to-man, so this is all of their players used up. They're man-to-man, they've got us realistically where they want us. When Lisandro Martinez comes in, it poses a real question for the opposition, because who's actually meant to go and get him? Do their strikers want to track back all the way and follow him? Not many do. Strikers don't enjoy going back towards their own goal. Which leaves Lisandro Martinez as the free man, and like I said, that asks questions of the opposition. Is this defender now meant to move on to Martinez, or is he meant to stay on to Bruno Fernandes? Particularly when Bruno starts with his movement as well, kind of moving away from Licha to ask even more questions. This is something that United, as a team, have to do more. Ask more questions of the opposition. If we are going to be slow, we are going to give the opposition time to get into their shape. So what we have to do is then ask questions of that shape. Can we pull them about into different positions? And this is where Lisandro Martinez, to me at the moment, looks more valuable than ever. This is the best version of him in the final third that I think we've seen. So again, Ruben Amorim deserves credit for getting him into these attacking positions. And Licha deserves a lot of credit for his work once in these areas. We've broken down this clip very recently against Rangers last week, Rangers defending this side of the pitch. As Lisandro Martinez comes forward, you can literally see the Rangers players confused. They don't know who's meant to be following him, because they've already got a player each that they're picking up. When a new guy comes along, Lisandro Martinez, who steps out to go and engage him? And often we are seeing that teams are a little bit confused here. They never really decide quick enough who's meant to close him down. And as a result, Lisandro Martinez gets a bit of space. And his ball striking at the moment looks very, very good. This isn't something that we previously really saw in his game. But in the past few weeks, there is something here. And of course, in this game, he was hugely important for us. Late on, we needed a goal, having just conceded. He's the one who steps forward. Again, you can see the Rangers players all kind of stepping off. They're looking at the ball. They feel as though one of them should apply pressure, but they don't really know who it's supposed to be, because if we go back just one clip, we can see they are already worried about other people running in and around them. So the opposition, again, have these question marks in their head. They don't know whether they can get towards the ball or not, and as a result, Lisandro Martinez gets a bit of time on the ball. And again, at the moment, his product in the final third is amazing. This ball, again, there's not many centre-backs in world football that can play that pass with that weight just so perfectly for Bruno Fernandes to score, and it's crucial to us, absolutely crucial. Of course, the goal against Liverpool was huge for us getting the point, the win against Rangers there with the assist, and of course just now the win against Fulham. Lisandro Martinez is proving to be hugely valuable. Now, this doesn't mean we were wrong about him previously. I have questioned Lisandro Martinez so far this season, and I stand by those questions. He does have flaws in his game. Off the ball, he can be too aggressive, which sees him caught out, although he's improving there, which is amazing to see. The big one, realistically, is still his height and his lack of 1-versus-1 defending. He still has those flaws in his game, but when he starts bringing you the in-possession side to this level, then it almost makes you think you might be able to put up with the defensive side if the on-the-ball side is this good. And I guess that's the question now, and that's a question I'm going to pass over to you guys. With Lisandro Martinez performing this well on the ball, is he someone that we have to keep in the starting 11 and actually you just try and solve the puzzle and fit the pieces in around him, because actually on the ball right now he is providing so much? Or is it the case that actually defensively he's still a little bit too weak, he's not good enough in wide areas, and despite what he does for us in possession, he needs to be taken out of the team because, first of all, he is a defender? Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Recently, he is causing some questions because his on-the-ball performances are special right now, a bit like first season Lisandro Martinez, and actually arguably even better in my opinion because he's being so effective so high up the pitch. But those are just my thoughts. I want to hear all of yours in the comments down below. But apart from that, we are finished for today. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you have enjoyed it. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.